All right, guys, we're here at the Redcon 1 headquarters in Boca Raton, Florida. I got future Arnold champ right here, Dallas McCarver. He don't have to say it. I'll say it.
I'm not saying
no, he's not. He would never. He would never. Anyway, we just finished a back workout, and this was not the typical. Well, it is the typical. Now you're doing it three times every week, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll break it down real quick for everybody. So the way the current training's going is I do back, which is all of my heavy rowing movements in one day. So what I like to call my back, and deadlift. So what I like to call my back thickness day.
Right.
And then I'll do chest, which will start off with heavy presses and stuff, and then work into flies. But it's like 1 week or one time. But that one's based around like flat presses.
Okay.
Okay, and then the next day, Wednesday, is legs. All that leg day. Like as you guys saw, it's like a 3-hour leg day. The next day is what we did today, which is back, and I call it back width. Basically pull downs, pull overs, pull ups.
More squeezing.
Yes, the outer, lower, lats, rather than just the meat and thickness of the inner back. And then I do a little biceps on that day, and on the first chest day I do triceps. I forgot to say that. So then I'll have another chest day, and it's all focused on heavy incline presses. And then I'll have my last day of the week, so I'll have a shoulder and arm day, and then I'll take an off day.
So
Each day right now takes me like 2 to 3 hours. I train for like 2 to 3 hours.
That was way longer than I would normally train.
Yeah.
So does that mean since you're doing chest and back, do you feel like these are the two body parts? I mean, we always hear your back. We got these videos back. So, but chest I've never really heard that much of. You feel like chest is something you need twice?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a weak spot for me.
You do?
So yeah, it's a weak, what I would consider one of my weaker body parts, along with back, which is why they both get hit once a week. And I would say that by this point my legs are strong for me, a strong body part for me, as well as my shoulders and arms. So they only get hit once a week.
Right.
So they get just less frequency,
less attention. Have you noticed? How long have you been doing that?
Since me and Chad started working together, I think he
This was his idea to do this?
Well, it was something. I had the layout pretty much laid out, and he liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to like even when me and Matt would work together, but it's like the layout was already laid out, and then I sent it to Chad, and he was like, "Yeah." He's like, "But this is what I want you to do. I want you to pick like set exercises on every single day. Like I go through if we wanted to, and I could take every exercise on every single day. But within those exercises, like obviously we increase volume, so we'll increase a set or two here and there. We'll increase weight here and there. So you're constantly progressing into the show.
One way or another, you're always making progress.
Yeah, but you can gauge your progress from an athletic, from a performance standpoint also, as well as not just taking pictures. Because, if you go in one day and like, say last week I squatted 6 plates or 12, and then this week I put 6 plates on, I can only do 5. Well, obviously I'm in a bit of a hole there, So. Yeah, it's just a good way to keep track of everything. Keep consistency. I've learned that's what Chad's all about is consistency.
Yeah, it's interesting because like you. I mean, I know from you being here and me seeing you training and training with you occasionally, like I did today. Just when he needs that extra push, I get in there and I inspire him. Not at all actually, but
just want to do a little extra intensity.
What I do is I don't use my phone at all. When I train with Dallas. So he's actually helping me.
He bans phones.
I'm like, no phones. I will not text. I stop myself. I pull it out and no. Anyway, so the thing I did notice is that you're now doing the same exercises, the same time. And before, it was all like, I guess more like trying to confuse the muscle or always doing something a little bit different every time you worked out.
Yeah, it was just different. Your
diet too, everything.
I've always stuck to basic movements, but just kind of varied the way I would, the sets, reps, sometimes rest pulse, sometimes drop sets, sometimes, supersets, whatever. But now it's like, it's truly just like straight sets of heavy ass, 8 to 12 reps on everything. And I find that, I can train, obviously, you're sacrificing some intensity per sets for, more long-term, like volume style training, but also like I just find that my body's responding really, really well to it.
So that's really what it comes down to. I don't know. It's kind of like a weird thing that's happened to you. Is that in a good way, is that you did the Olympia. We had a great result. Everybody was really happy with it. Me, you, everybody, all parts of the team. And I guess the plan was to, take a little time off, come back to the Arnold, make some improvements, and kind of what happened was a lot of improvements happened, like kind of surprisingly. Like people are seeing the videos and seeing stuff, and they're like, "Holy shit! When did you get?" I mean, you were always big, but it's like, whoa, he gained a lot all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, I think I had a good rebound.
Yeah.
And I've had a good start to this prep too. I mean, I'll be honest, I really like being down here. Not that it's like I'm totally in solitude. I mean, I've got friends and stuff down here, but it's just not as much for me to get into as it was at home. So it's like, it's like base camp, man. And I mean, I'm blessed, obviously with you guys, you give me the opportunity to really focus on my training. Like, there's been several days where, hey, I need you to come in the office and I might not be able to, and you're very understanding,
Sure.
So, having the time to really focus and just take care of what needs to be done. And then also, I think, like I said, there's been some changes made, in the training, and then also the diet. We like doubled my protein intake.
Yeah.
And so some other stuff is, changed up. And
were you nervous to make those kind of changes? Because obviously you...
Yeah, man. Well, like when I first contacted Chad, I was probably eating like 7-8 ounces of protein a meal.
Yeah, low protein.
Yeah, and he was like, sometimes like on my, on my high days, like I'd eat down to 6. Now I'm in the like 10 to 12 range a meal, and that's a big jump, and the carbs are still like the same pretty much,
Yeah.
And I haven't sacrificed a lot of any like other calories, so it's just a lot more protein.
And interestingly enough, somehow you increased your calorie consumption that much and are leaner, which is a weird thing, right? So maybe your body needed that the whole time.
Well, I think a big part of what I see happening, and the biggest thing I can tell is the way that I've kind of adjusted my training, because this style of training, like I say, I train much longer every day, but without totally taxing the muscle. Like, you can do a set, like I can do a set of, 6 plate squats, 585, whatever that is. I can do 2 or 3 sets of 10, and that's a hell of a lot of cardio,
Sure. Oh, yeah.
But also you're continuously working and breaking down the muscle, volumizing the muscle cells, all that. So I just find that I stay bigger, rounder, and leaner, with those two. That's been the 2 main changes, I think. And then also, like I said, a really good rebound, so, and just being able to really focus and get done, I'm more motivated than I've ever been, I think. I really am. I think you can tell that by being around me.
100%.
I'm more motivated to win the show and, be successful than I've ever been, because I feel like I'm right there on the cusp of really just, busting up in the upper echelons of the industry, the sport. And, I'm ready to do it,
it had to feel good when you did it as well as you did at the Olympia. I mean, we went from seeing like, oh, Dallas McCarver has got potential, he could one day be a top tier guy, to all of a sudden, oh, he may be top 6 at the Olympia. And then, you didn't quite make it, but you could have.
Yeah.
You could. It was possible. You were in the mix.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden people are saying, oh, next Mr. Olympia, Dallas McCarver. It's a very big change in a little period of time. Not that you think that. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'll put
very modest guy.
No, I mean, I'll put it this way, like, if I would have listened to anything that the general consensus of the industry had to say, I would have left when I turned pro. When I turned pro, I didn't have any business being pro.
Right.
I win the Cali Pro. Oh, well, good for him. He'll still never be.
They're like small show.
Still never. First year show. He'll still never be worth anything. Go to the Olympia, get 13th my first year, and which to me was satisfying, and especially at the age I am. And then it's like, oh well, he might one day be a top guy, and then like you said, it's just progressed. Yeah. But long story short, if I wasn't listening to him back when I said that I was going to suck, I'm still not listening to him, because honestly, like, they don't know, I don't know, you don't know, we don't know. I mean, I could blow out a knee, God forbid, I could blow out a knee tomorrow and be done for life. No kidding. But, that's just life, man. Right. So I try to just take the most out of every single workout and every single day I can get, and, make progress the best I can. And, God willing, we'll get there one day, and we'll get there soon.
Yeah. It's been an interesting journey, but it's definitely it's interesting looking back, thinking back just a short period of time, the view from the public consensus.
Yeah,
it's bodybuilding fans. Sorry, guys out there, are the most fickle fans of any sport that I've ever seen. One day guy sucks, next day guy's good, and then you could suck again very soon. So
yeah. And also it's like, if you're good to one fan, you're going to be good no matter what.
Right. 100%.
If you suck to one fan, you're going to suck no matter what.
You're never going to change anything.
Yeah. So I mean, hey man, that's competition and fans in general. I mean, that's just like a Dallas Cowboys fan. They're not going to give a shit about it or like anything New York Giants do ever.
Yeah.
That's just life.
Yeah.
So I try to.
And you're right. When somebody likes, let's say, Branch Warren, and then they're going to want to see anybody beat Branch Warren.
No, yeah.
They'll never be saying, "Oh, Dallas beat him." It was good for him. They'll be like, "Fuck that guy. He beat down."
Pretty much. Yeah.
So,
but that's just the way it is. So I just try to, I'm thankful for the people that do support me and the people that don't support me. That's their choice, and hopefully I'll prove them wrong soon.
I think you will. What do you think as far as the changes from Matt to Chad? What other changes have been the most dramatic about the whole process? I mean,
I would just say that like Matt with Matt is like a very, very intense like trainer. Like his training is like, I'm telling you, dude, like, I'll still say this to the day I die, is like, if you can train with Matt Jensen, you can train with anybody in the world. Like, he'll kick your ass, dude.
Yeah.
But what I'm doing now is a very different kind of hard. As you saw today,
sure.
We start off and you're like, oh, well, I got this, and your muscles get pumped and they burn,
sure.
But then once you're in it 2.5 hours, you're like, okay, for real, like,
Sure.
And you still got to push yourself for them heavy sets, even that far in. And so I think it's a different kind of hard. And that's, as far as the training, that's where it goes. It's like, do you want to like give it everything you've got and 8, 10, 12 sets, or you want to stretch it out to 20 sets?
It's like Lee Haney. It's like stimulate versus annihilate.
Yeah.
You're not going there and annihilate yourself.
Well, I mean,
actually, you do sometimes.
You do,
we didn't have to today. Your leg day, you annihilate yourself.
Yeah.
It's different. You're right.
So, anyways, it's just a very different style for me, but I've grown fond of it. And as far as now, I'm still training like heavy. It's just, whereas like used to say I would do like my last set of squats, like I'd work up to like one set with 6 plates, and then I'd do like a giant drop set or something.
Sure.
Now it's like I do one set with 6 plates, 6, 7 plates, rack it, and then do 2 or 3 more sets. 1 or 2 more sets at least. So it's just a different style of intensity.
Has he ever talked to you about, is there some kind of periodization of this training, or is this how Chad would say to continue on something like this indefinitely?
I mean, I would say that, he probably is all for me doing, anything, because he knows I'm going to work hard.
Yeah.
Like, he knows no matter what I'm doing. I think for the point of this right now is for just consistency during prep. And that's Chad's whole thing, man, is like, he wants you like 24/7 robot mode. And I actually love it because I'm a creature of habit. We all are, one way or another.
Sure.
And it's like with him, it's like I get my diet for the whole week ahead of time, and I look down it, and it's like, all right, this day's this day's this, and whether it be a cycle or not, a high day and a low day, or just a flat, whatever, it's still consistent throughout that whole week, just like the training,
Yeah, there are no surprises.
Yeah, and he just likes it that way. So it's been a change, man, but obviously things are working.
Yeah, 100%.
That's not a hit on Matt or anybody. There's nothing wrong with there's more than one way to skin a cat. No matter who you are. And so I think this way is really working for me, and and then the increase in food, the protein too, and
how about cardio? Are you doing cardio?
Yeah, that's another thing, is I don't do cardio 7 days a week anymore. I'm doing cardio 3 days a week. That Chad, he really only likes me doing, like, I think I'm doing 30 minutes 3 days a week. It ups to 45 soon. Wow. But he would rather me spend that time in the gym. And
that's what you like.
For me, I'm like, hell yeah, I'd rather spend that time in the gym too.
Yeah.
So I've just extended the workouts, cut back on the cardio, up the food a little bit, and just trying to stay really consistent. And you know, he tells me pretty much every time we talk, whether it be text or phone, it's like, you know, the key is consistency. You know, you got to be a machine.
Yeah.
And so that's what I want to be. I want to be a fucking machine, right?
Yeah. Fucking humongous machine.
Yeah.
One thing I'll leave us on this note. I got Dallas to do something pretty cool today that he had never done. He had never done before.
I still can't believe you got me to do it.
I actually got now. Most bodybuilders wouldn't do this, and the reason why I thought to even ask to do it, to be honest, was there was a video that UNCJ filmed at the Nutrition Corner stores, Doug Miller's Nutrition Corner, and he surprised you. At least I don't think he warned you that you're going to get on the scale.
No, he didn't tell me. Yeah,
so
he was just like, "You want to come step back on the shipping scale?" I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, so I happen to have seen some stuff in the past where bodybuilders are very resistant to getting on scale because it's easy to say, "Oh, I weigh 300 pounds," and you're like, "Okay," and then they get on the scale. And I've even been guilty of doing it in the past where somebody said, "What do you weigh?" And I'd be like 270 when I was 264 or something, you know?
Yeah.
Round up, right? And so he told Doug Miller, told you the owners of the stores, said he may get on the scale.
They kind of tricked me because they asked me how much I weighed, and I think they didn't believe me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, good that you're an honest guy. You don't have to. When you're 330 pounds, you don't have to lie. And so he asked him, and he got on the scale, and he weighed 330 with no shoes on or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I had my pants on, but...
Well, that's pretty fucking...
All right, so we'll say 328 and a half.
Yeah. So, anyway, he got on the scale, and I was like, you know what? Nobody really measures either. You know what I mean? So, like, we would, like, back in the day, me and PJ did a video where I measured my arm, and I called him out, and he measured his arm, and people were like, we got, like, tons and tons of views, because people just don't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not that people, you know, me and
well,
his arm
got, when you put a tape measure on it, you know, that brings a certain bit of accountability there.
Yeah, there's no lying. There's no lying.
It is what it is.
So we measured Dallas's arms and calves today, and if you're waiting for me to give you the answer, good. Sorry, you're gonna have to watch the video.
I got it on Snapchat too. I told him I was like,
really?
you have to go check it out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to say since we're?
No, I guess that's it, man.
Yeah.
Really excited about this coming Arnold, and guys, stay tuned to the we're doing the whole video series, Road to the Arnold. So I think it's gonna get nasty. Like
You gotta admit, you're
the lifts are getting crazy already, and
totally
like,
crazy.
I mean, I would say within the next 3 to 4 weeks, like some cool shit's gonna happen on film. So I would just follow. I mean, that's all I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you gotta admit,
Lord willing.
Well, yeah, wood on the wood. Yeah, that's kind of drywall's almost wood, right?
Yeah.
There's wood underneath there. So you have to admit that you are definitely going to the Arnold with a different attitude in terms of your goal than you have in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I think what I'm going to the Arnold for is I just want to, I don't want it to be a discussion anymore. I don't want it to be like, well, he could have been better here, he could have been done this. I just want to show up the best I've ever been, and what happens happens. But I mean, I think that it's gonna be fun. That's what I think.
I can't get him to say it. Anyway, that's it for Dallas McCarver here at Singerman here at the Redcon headquarters. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you next time.